Okay, so this is a decimal overview. Decimals separate whole numbers and the extra, like I like to call it. So if I have the number 356, that's 356 wholes. All right, and then to the right of my decimal, I have the extra. Okay, so right here, this number is still 356 wholes, but now it's a little bit more than that. It's a little extra. Just like 356 and 2/3 is wholes and extra. So right now, both of these numbers are somewhere in between 356 and 357. All right. Now, just as we have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones, these are place values for our wholes. We have place values for our decimals. We have our tenths. Okay, so these numbers, these digits here, and our tenths place are worth the tenths. Then you go hundredths, then thousands. All right, so over here you're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Over here you're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So this 0.1 right here is worth more than this 0.008. All right, so let's look at that. So take the same number, 356, correct? That's an expanded form. All right, so here I have 1/10, 300ths, and 8,000ths. So I'm getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Just like there are zeros here for our place values, as zeros in our ones, as zeros in our tens, there's zeros here. Zero in our tenths, zero in our tenths, hundredths. Now remember, this is worth 100. Tens, ones, tenths. See how our decimal right here, separates our wholes from less than. This right here is worth hundredths. This right here is worth thousandths. All right, so let's zoom in. Let's say I have 356.1, 356.5, 356.8. All right, these are pretty simple. You know, this one's going to be smaller, middle, biggest. But what if I did this? Guess what? This is still the smallest. All right? What you could do to help with that is put zeros. All right? 129 is still smaller than 530. Okay, always look at that tenths place, that first number after the decimal, and sort it by that. Okay, obviously our wholes come first, and then you look at your tenths. Now let's zoom in more. Say our tenths are the same. All right, so now I have smallest, bigger, largest. Our tenths are the same. So then the next thing we'd look at is our hundredths. 0, 1, and 2. Smaller. Okay, let's zoom in even more. Say our tenths, our hundredths, but our thousandths are different. Okay, smallest, bigger, largest. Our tenths are the same, our hundredths are the same, so then we look at our thousandths. All right, so if I gave you this, and we had to order them from least to greatest. The least value is our 1, because that's just plain old 1. 1 with nothing extra. Okay, now I have 1 and extra, 1 and extra, and 2 wholes. Well, 2 is obviously going to be our biggest, because these are still 1 wholes. Now I have to decide what comes next. What comes after our 1? 1.89 or 1.345? Okay, well, look at our tenths first. 3 is smaller. Remember, don't look at this as 345. Because if I add that 0, or sorry, and don't look at this as 89 either. If I add that 0, 345, 890. Remember, go by place value. Just look at the next place value. 3 smaller. Smallest to largest.